This is contestant 8319, and I am doing the baking and pastry arts competition. Here I am measuring all of the dry ingredients first, which is 2 cups with 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. After whisking the dry ingredients up together, I added the 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, the 1 cup of softened butter, and I creamed those together. And then I added 1 large egg and then the 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract into it. I also made sure it was all incorporated correctly. After that, I made sure that was all incorporated correctly. I gradually added the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients, mixing it little by little, making sure it was fully incorporated. After that, I had made 2-inch balls with the dough, rolling it up into circles, and then flattening it with the bottom of a cup to give it more of a circle-like shape. After that was finished, I added it to my preheat oven that was preheated to 375, and I let it in there bake for about 30 minutes or until it was golden brown. After taking it out of the oven, I had placed it on a small makeshift wire rack I had made to let it cool off. And then we move on to the quick bread coffee cake. First off, I made the streusel topping, which is 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, cold and diced. After lightly mixing in the dry ingredients, I started using my hands to lightly combine the dry ingredients with the cold butter. For the coffee cake batter, I used 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, a cup of sour cream, half a cup of vegetable oil, 2 large eggs, and 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. In the bigger bowl, I had mixed all the dry ingredients first, and then in a separate smaller bowl, I had to mix in all the wet ingredients. After mixing in all the wet ingredients, I poured all the wet ingredients into the larger bowl and started mixing it in. I also made sure not to overmix it. After everything had been incorporated, I poured it into my lightly greased um, bread pan, and then added a layer of the streusel topping, and then topped it off with the rest of the cake batter and the rest of the streusel topping on top, trying to marble it. After doing that, I had my oven preheated to 350, and I had let it in there either for 30 to 35 minutes or until a toothpick, a skewer, or a cake tester had been inserted and come out clean and the top was golden brown. And then I had let the bread cool for 15 to 20 minutes, and then I transferred it to wire rack to cool completely, and then I had cut it, and this is the final product.